Yeah, I think we're fucking on. All right. Yeah, well, I'm sure people are wondering where we might have been for the last week or so, especially after Super Bowl 59. I've been in a deep, deep, deep depression. Uh, Again, one of the worst days of my football fandom life happened just a couple of Sundays ago. Uh, how are you feeling, Jimbo?
I finally came out of it like right.
And welcome everybody to Stay Tuned Sports. I'm your boy King. That's your good friend Jimbo right over there. And yes, I was kind of a dick.
You thought I was gonna sing "Fly Eagles Fly"?
I don't. I honestly, I didn't care what you were going to say. I was cutting you off. But yes, welcome to Stay Tuned Sports again. I am King. That is Jimbo. We're here supposedly scheduled to be every week. Does it happen? No, we got to work on a consistency. We have to work on a consistency. We know that. We said that many times before, and we still do have to do that. However, thank you so much for joining us here. Yes, Jimbo. Now, without me being a dick, now that you've had a week to process, you've had the victory parade, you've had all that to look over. How you feeling this week and a half after the Philadelphia Eagles were crowned Super Bowl champions?
So, at this moment right now, I'm over the season, and now I'm like, Howie, come on, start signing our guys. Like, I don't want to wait the day before free agency. Like Zach Bond sign them, Becton sign them. You know, there was like 5 or 6 pending free agents from that team that I think we should re-sign. Zach Bond and Becton definitely is, I think, the top 2 priority
I'll
guys.
say this. I want to say this right off the bat. Maybe one of the best reclamation. Because here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say that Saquon's a reclamation project because he was always good.
Yeah.
He just was able to hit another gear with the Philadelphia Eagles. Mekhi Becton was looked at by many Jets fans and people within the whole Jets sphere. He was looked at as we Giants fans look at Evan Neal. Like, he was bad. Bad draft pick, didn't work out, bad offensive lineman, just had to get rid of him. Goes to Philadelphia and is an all-pro.
Yeah.
And had a fantastic season. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and the funny part is he didn't play his position that he got drafted for. He got drafted as a tackle, and as much shit I gave him all year, Nick Sirianni said, why don't we try him at right guard? And Stalin said, okay, let's try it.
And I'll tell you what, well, it's worked out. You have lost Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator as he has gone down to New Orleans. Of course, he's plucking people from the Eagles as well, some of the lower guys, quarterback coaches, I think. And, you know, I think he got the strength and conditioning or whatever is like football analytics guy, whatever. I know he's grabbed a couple people there from Philadelphia. So, again, there's going to be some movement there. The last time that happened with Philadelphia, they had a kind of a lull there. Is that something that's going to happen now? Have they learned their lesson? Do they know who to look for now and have better options maybe? I don't know.
Well, they did hire a new OC.
Yes, it is in the ticker right now. Patullo, I believe is that another Gabagool? That seems to be the Italian kind of brotherhood there. You know, a little bit of the Guinea gang, if you will. I know, probably going to get, you know. Listen, if we were monetized, we might get demonetized. But until then, you know, is Guinea really that bad? Is Guinea that bad? I mean, you know, they're Italians. You know what I mean? Gabagool, you know. But still, Well, I mean, we saw on the field after the Super Bowl, Sirianni and Big Dom with the Italian flag out there showing their Colombian heritage. Yeah. So it was. I mean, it was unfortunate to have to witness that. I mean, it was a bludgeoning. Like, it was never in doubt from the snap of the ball on that first drive to the end of the game.
There was only one drive. I started doubting myself, and that's when the Chiefs scored their first touchdown. I'm like, oh, here we go, 28-3.
No, there was never, like, even at that point, like, again, some people kept on trying to bring up the Falcons in 28-3, and this is, I was like, that's not going to happen. Not with that defense. The way that the offense was running was beyond efficient. And listen, I'll give Kansas City credit for this. They stopped Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon didn't have too much going on. Unfortunately, they forgot to stop anybody else. I guess we all talked about the game plan was always for all these teams, like, hey, if you can stop Saquon, you got a chance. Do what you can. Stop Saquon. Let Jalen beat you. Let anybody else beat you. Well, they let everybody else fucking beat them because, I mean, they got absolutely stomped. It was a massacre, yeah, congratulations to the Eagles and Eagles fans and all that other fucking bullshit that we're gonna fucking talk.
I appreciate that coming from you.
Eat shit, dude. I fucking hate the Eagles, and there are times that I hate you. But now, listen, hey, football season's over. Football season's over, so we can move on from that, and we can kind of be a little bit more on the same page here a little bit. And one thing I did want to bring up,
okay,
and it's actually kind of been the talk of social media. On the old X there, on Twitter, on Facebook, on really everything. The Four Nations Faceoff has been a fucking electric fucking time here.
Every game.
Every single game has been great. And obviously, the one we're going to talk about here is the United States versus Canada, the one that happened on Saturday night. They will be playing again tomorrow, Thursday night, for the title of the Four Nations face-off here. Now, this was made to replace the All-Star game. The NHL was like, listen, we've tried doing stuff with the All-Star game. We did first. I think they did. It was always like East-West for Wales Campbell's conference. Then when they switched it was Eastern-Western. Then they tried. I think they tried something where it was like North America versus international for a while. They did that in the early 2000s, I believe. Then they obviously went to the each division had it. They had the four divisions, and they did 3-on-3 hockey, which was neat for the time. I mean, that was something different, and you watched it, but it was like, all right, but it was like every other All-Star game still. This is why I like Gary. And a lot of people give Gary Bettman a lot of shit. I've given Gary Bettman a lot of shit, and I still kind of boo him just out of habit. But it's these little things that hockey does every now and then, and it captures people. And it like the Winter Classic grabbed people. Now it's gotten a little oversaturated. I get that. The games haven't been great, so that doesn't help. And New Year's has kind of become very almost oversaturated with sports too. There's a lot of college football going on. Now with the college football playoffs going on, those kind of intersect there. The NFL is often running into that time period of New Year's as well. The regular season doesn't end until like the second week in January now. So there's a lot going on there, so maybe it gets lost. But I'll tell you what, this fucking Four Nations Faceoff has been absolutely spectacular. And I want to go back to last Saturday because I turned the game on. I was like, yeah, USA, Canada. I want to see what this is. I didn't know how it was going to be. If they were going to take this like Olympic level, were they going to take this like just really, truly exhibition level? Where were they going to take this? Right off the bat, man, it was fuck this, we're dropping gloves and going. And I loved every single second of it. The Chuck brothers went out there and just started chucking fucking bombs at each other. JT Miller then a couple seconds later got into a fight because they were getting in front of Hellebuck there, and he was throwing Knucks. It was an electric start. The games have been great. Again, the level of competition, nobody's taking a fucking, there is true, utter passion in these games. And watching that on Saturday, like I was enthralled. Like, and I'm a hockey guy, but even being just a hockey guy, I was like, let's fucking go. Like I was absolutely set on this game. First of all, fuck you, Canada. That's what you get for booing our anthem. I don't give it. Well, we're not booing the American people. We're booing the certain person. I don't care. You boo the anthem. You boo the flag. You boo me. I'm an American. That's my flag. I don't care. You don't differentiate. There's not a differentiation. Whether you like or don't like whoever is politically leading a nation, whatever. That's the thing. I don't like Canada's current leader. Haven't. He's fucking weird. He's kind of a tyrant, kind of a, we can go in all the political stuff and that. I'm not going to, but let's just say, I don't like Canada's current leader. Have I ever booed the Canadian national anthem? Not once. Not once in my entire fucking life have I booed the Canadian national anthem. In fact, I like it. I think it's a great anthem. Yeah. I love it. Having grown up around hockey and everything like that, I love the Canadian national anthem. So I've never booed it. I've never had the will to boo it, no matter if I've liked your political leaders or not. The things they've said, the thing they've done that have impacted Americans, whether it's through trade or through oil pipelines or through, whatever, border control, shit like that, whatever Canadians said, restricting my ability to go up and get some poutine up there. I just want to be able to go jump over the border, get some poutine, and come on back. Why can't I do that? So yeah. You know what I mean? Like I've never had that inclination to boo the Canadian national anthem because of whoever their political leader is. So the fact that Canadians were saying that, and listen, I get it. Tensions are high. People are saying like that. People are talking about making it the 51st state and whatever. Like I get it. You're absolutely right to get pissed. If somebody said that about my country, I would be upset as well. But I'm not booing the anthem because I'm not booing the people. It's not us who said that. You know, it's whoever that guy is. And you don't like that guy, that's fine. Say you don't like that guy, but don't boo my anthem. You boo my anthem, now we have a problem. Now we're in something here.
It's just funny that before the game, no one was saying those. Well, at least I didn't see anybody saying those phrases of like, "Oh, we're not booing the your anthem." This that. Once we kicked their ass, listen, guys, listen. We're not booing you guys. We're not booing the anthem. Calm down. Let's peace, love, happiness.
But that was the fact that they were doing that, and then they booed like that. Even that they booed the anthem before that particular game, and then that game starts with immediate glove drops and immediate Knucks being thrown, and like to me that was just like, all right, message sent. Fuck you, fuck everybody who said that about us, and just to let you know, like, yeah, we're here. Also, love the fact that our goal song is fucking Freebird. Let's go. Let's go.
Whoever picked that song needs a raise.
I think the juniors started it back in the end of December, beginning of January with the World Junior Championships. Oh, yeah? Which happened, I think, every year around that time. I believe they were using Freebird as their goal song. And they won this year the gold. So I wonder if, these guys was like, we're taking Freebird's going to be the United States goal song from now on, which... perfectly fine with. Let's go. Use that. Yeah. I'm all for it.
I just want to give one quick shout out to JT Miller. Like the Kachuk brother fights. I mean, I felt like I was watching BKFC all over again. But JT Miller, it was like a David and Goliath. He
he was definitely at a disadvantage.
Screw it. Let's go. Let's go at it. And he hung in there. I don't know if I give him the fight, but
they both got to the ice at the same time. Listen, I'm not gonna say he won. I'm not gonna say he's lost, but I think it definitely was. It was a good scrap. It was a good scrap. Yes, good scrap. That's a stick tap. Good scrap. I'm on you, protecting your goalie, defend your team. Defend the name on the front of the jersey means a hell of a lot more than the name on the back. And that game showed it. And of course, the United States won 3-1. So again, fuck you, Canada. But now here we go. Thursday, they're going to face off again. Canada beating Finland 5-3 in the final game of the round robin. The U.S. lost to Sweden, but we had already guaranteed the spot. I know we had a couple guys sit out because of either upper or lower body injuries. I think one of the Canucks might actually be out. for this game coming up. They might have called in Quinn Hughes to come in, to have another Hughes brother in there. So we had Kachuk brothers, and now you have an injured Kachuk. Well, you have to have brothers on the team somewhere. So get Quinn. So you got Quinn and Luke Hughes on there. That'll work. Crafty Southpaw in the chat, by the way. Big shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us here. He just has a question for Jimbo, wondering if this is the first day that you've been sober since the Super Bowl win for the Eagles. Yeah, I think you've been sober for a couple days. Yeah.
But. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I finally woke up around like Wednesday, Thursday out my drunken slumber or whatever you want to call it. So.
Stupor, slumber? I don't know. Yeah, you were again. You were trying to mix a lot of words there, and it's something you do. It's something you do, and I appreciate that though. But yeah, fucking Eagles. But yes, so that's
if USA wins tomorrow night, Jimbo's getting drunk today.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I'm watching that game with great intent. And I think that's the thing. That when you have people like Rich Eisen talking about it, who never talks hockey. Like, Rich Eisen is not a hockey guy. He's not going to talk hockey. Dan Patrick, he's not going to talk hockey. A lot of these people don't talk hockey. When you have these people talking about it and saying, boy, hockey's figured it out. Hockey's realized what to do. And I think moving forward, this is what you're going to see. And if this is what replaces All-Star Weekend in the NHL, and we just like each year we have a 4 Nations Faceoff, will be like United States, Canada, and invite 2 other countries or whatever. Have like like this year with Sweden and Finland. Maybe we do Sweden and Germany or whoever, or Slovakia, or some of the other ones that are some of the better hockey playing nations that unfortunately can't invite Russia right now, but we'll see how that goes. Boy, you want to talk about having politically motivated fucking hockey games. Holy shit. That would be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So you have that stuff there. So I mean, I agree with most anybody there though, that like if this is what replaces All-Star games, let's fucking go. Like, this is absolutely electric, and I honestly can't wait for. I can't wait for the next game. And here's the thing: like, if they do this, then it kind of just connects. It's perfect synergy, if you will, to use corporate speak. It slots right in with doing the Olympic breaks every 4 years. So then you can have these 4 Nations Face-Off. You already have that international flavor. And then every 4 years you have the Olympics, where it's obviously bigger and something like that. It's a little longer of a break. But people are now like, all right, let's go. It's international. And this helps to kind of maybe keep those rivalries sparked. You get to see these players play against each other more than just once every 4 years for their country. So now there's a little bit more juice to it. There's a little bit more like, oh, yeah. The NHL's already talked about bringing back the World Cup of hockey for, like, summer games for that 2-year period in between Olympics, which I think that would happen probably in the summertime, somewhere before the season. I don't know. They still got to hammer all that out. So I'd be interested in that as well. But I'm real interested to see how that all works out. But for right now, like, I can't think of anything better at this time in the sport. Like, we were talking about, man, once football ended, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do? This is so, it's like, I'll tell you what, this has been something fantastic to watch. And all of a sudden, I was on my phone with my father the other day, the old man, and I was talking with him about it. And I was like, see? Yeah, football's done, but we got the hockey's right there. Hockey's right there to pick you up. Just like when you think, what are we going to do? There's no more football to watch. Hockey's there to cradle you right in the fall and say, hey, you want to watch some people kick the shit out of each other on the ice? We got you. Don't worry about it, baby. We got you. Let's go. So excited to see that. The game, I believe, is in Boston, is where the title game is going to be. So try. Here's the thing I don't want, and I know Boston. So. This might be fucking pissing into the wind. Don't boo the Canadian national anthem. We're better than them. Yeah. We're better than that. Don't boo it.
Yeah.
If you want to be silent, fine. That's fine. You can be silent. You don't have to say anything. No clapping or anything like that. You could do that. I'm fine with that. Don't boo the fucking anthem. Let the anthem go. Let them realize, hey, listen, we're better. We're classier. We are classy, baby. Pinky out, motherfuckers. And then
some like 25-year-old or mid-20s drunk off
there's
their ass.
gonna be a drunk Bostonian that goes, "Hey, Bill, fuck you, fucking Canucks."
Yeah.
You guys are wicked losers, you fucking hosers. What are you doing? Fucking hit him with a Sammy. Like that's going to be those guys, so that's why I'm saying it's probably pissing in the wind to say that, but that's what I would suggest. Don't fucking, and then do what Chicago does with the anthem for our anthem. When the Star Spangled Banner comes on, be loud as fuck. Just cheer the fuck out of it and just be like, fuck you, Canada, and move on from that. Like, don't give them anything anyway. You boo the Canadian national anthem, all of a sudden they're going to be like, "Ugh," they're going to be like we were. Like, "Ugh, you're going to fucking boo my fucking anthem? Fine, I'm going to come kick your ass." Don't give them that. Don't give them that. They don't need that. They don't need that. Let them just realize, okay, oh, these guys are real. Oh, they're classy. Classy guys. Because, when I think of classy sports fans, I think of Boston.
More classy. Boston fans or Philly fans?
The Boston fans. But that's not saying Boston fans are classy. They're just more classy than Philadelphia fans. I mean, Philadelphia is pretty bottom of the barrel. I mean, from an outside perspective. Again, because here's the thing. I'm a New York fan in general. Like, Yankees, Giants, Devils, New York, New Jersey area. So not a lot of love for Philadelphia, but not a lot of love for Boston either. Like, let's face facts. Like, I'm not a big Boston sports fan. Like, fuck the Celtics, fuck the Patriots, fuck the Red Sox. They can eat the biggest bag of shit. So, like, I'm not, anything like that. And even if I was, even Boston people can recognize, fan base has some issues. A lot of, when it comes to Boston, still a lot of the race stuff, still a lot of the, uncomfortable words being thrown around up there. You know what I mean? Like, that's not great. Crafty says Boston sports fans are classy just without the CL. Ha ha! He called them assy. I see what you did there, Crafty. I see it. You clever bastard. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Philadelphia, see, here's the thing with Philadelphia. I think they're racially, there's a lot more harmony in Philadelphia fans when it comes to, the racial togetherness, unlike Boston. But that only means now that all the races work against you. So, in Boston, they're still worried about fighting each other and this person being there or whatever. In Philadelphia, they all just hate you. Oh, you have an opposing jersey on. Okay, all right. So that's see, there's unity. There's a little bit of unity in Philadelphia. Just,
we have so much unity that all 750,000 plus fans at the parade start yelling at the mayor to wrap up her speech because she was going so long. Like, I was laughing at work. My boss, because I had my earbud in, and my boss was like, "What are you laughing?" I'm like, the voices in my head. I'm laughing at the voices in my head.
Like, she definitely shouldn't have been. Like, here's the thing. The fact that you couldn't spell Eagles means that you shouldn't have been there. And listen, every politician in the world is still going to go up there and do their thing and be like, we're a politician. Hey, Philadelphia. How you? Like, it's just. But after that gaffe, man, I would have just been like, wave to the crowd. Yes, no, dignitary is here, but don't go up and speak. Just don't do it. Like,
their speech wasn't even that good either.
No, because again, she gives off a lot of that fakey politician speak. Like, it comes off so disingenuous. It comes off so bad. Like, and that's every politician. I'm not singling out just Philadelphia's because I hate Philadelphia. It's literally every politician fucking sounds like that. Nobody wants them there. Everybody hates it. It's the worst. Like, I know, like, no matter who it is, whoever's in the White House, when they go and visit the White House and they bring the trophy and they give the president their jersey or whatever, and it's just it's like, like, all right, but it's like so stupid. Like, I was never a big fan of that. ELS in the chat. What is up, brother? Good to see you. Hey, listen, I see ELS is posting a lot of video lately. Good for him. ELS, he knows consistency. Unlike us, we don't know shit. No wonder why he's over 1,000 subscribers and we are still at 2 something because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. But still good to see ELS. Crafty says Philly has so much unity, even the pole grease can't separate. Well, did to the one kid. Did to that one kid. Separated him from his fucking soul. Jesus. I'm sorry. That's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, we're going to hell.
The only other thing I want to touch on about the Four Nations USA Canada game, I think that game alone officially put NHL above MLB and basketball now. Like there shouldn't be any talk that
I think so. Just in general, and again, I think it's been working better. The ratings crushed.
That's what I mean.
The Canada USA game crushed, and then all the other games, USA, Sweden, Canada, Finland, those games got good ratings on TNT. They got over 1 million plus, both on TNT, which is for the American viewers. So fucking crazy that Canada, Finland got over. I think it got 1.1 million. But the USA Canada game got more than the NBA All-Star game. Which was clear, and as you saw, if you read anything on social media, boy, that game got fucking destroyed by people. They said that was an absolute upset. Like it's getting to the last couple years of the NFL Pro Bowl. Like that's where the NBA All-Star game is now. Like it's getting that bad. And so maybe this is something again where you'll see some of these leagues start stealing some of the NHL's ideas again, and they did that before. I know the NFL did when they started doing more people-based teams instead of just on conference. Basketball, I know, did that for a second. I think they might have done Divisions 2 for a minute or two, or they I know they did. Specific captains got to pick anybody from whatever team they wanted, things like that. Because the NHL did that as well too before the 4-division setup. They did that as well, where they had just the captains of the team and they did like a fantasy draft. So that's again something that hockey did to try to spice up the All-Star games. Other leagues did it, ran its course. I'm wondering if this is something now where you see the NBA now that they have enough, I think, international players, where you can go ahead and get like a 4 nations kind of basketball tournament. You can have like the USA, France, Greece, and I don't know who else would be another. Would you throw Canada in there in basketball? I don't know how many players they have from there, but you pick maybe a couple European teams, and you have a Team USA. You have to go at it, but I think basketball still, when it comes to it, like an American basketball team is still going to beat the shit out of fucking anybody. So that'll be something. Just looking in the chat, looking to see. Crafty says, "Is any sport not above basketball right now?" MLS probably, but even MLS is coming up now. Everybody loves Messi, and some of that stuff. And listen, I'm a soccer guy. I've said it before. I'll say again, I do like watching soccer. I'm a big Tottenham Hotspur fan. Not a great year for them. We're close to the bottom of the table. We're still, I think, 10 points clear of relegation, but not great. I think we're in 14th place. Not fucking great. Again, of all the years of watching Tottenham and my Spurs there, it's not been, this has probably been the worst year they've had. So,
you're having a rough year with
I'm having a real bad fucking year when it comes to sports. The Devils have all of a sudden become very inconsistent. Let's not even touch on the fucking Giants. Yankees lose the World Series. So at least I had one team make it to a championship game, but it was in a sport that I don't give a fuck about. So it's like Yankees on the World Series, and it's like, yay! But I could care less. Or could I? I have no idea. ELS says he's excited for the USA Canada championship game. Indeed, I think that's what we're all saying here, and I think the ratings for that are going to be good. Even though, here's the thing: if I was ABC, I would have tried to say, "Listen, let's switch this game over," because I think it's going to be on either on TNT or ESPN. I'm not sure, but if I'm ABC, man, I would want that on ABC the way it
Yeah.
was on Saturday. See if you can grab those viewers, grab those peepers, get it on broadcast television, because man, that is going to be a fucking great game. I think it'll be a ratings bonanza. This is a chance. Like if I'm Gary, I'm working the phone seeing what can we do to get this on to broadcast. Preempt whatever. I don't care. Oh, we got The Bachelor on. Don't give a fuck. We got something else on. Don't care. Preempt it. Move it to a different time. Please. Let's get this on. Because if it's on just ESPN, if it's on just like that stuff, it's, you know, I think it'll get eyeballs on it. It'll get looks, but it won't get nearly as much as it should, and that it could. ELS says that he's going to sign me up for some therapy. I do need sports therapy. Maybe that's something we'll work on. Maybe we'll have to do. We'll do a little sports therapy session on here one day. Do a little something like that. Crafty Southwest says too much proximity to New Jersey will ruin anything. Hey, Crafty, go fuck yourself. We don't like you either, motherfucker.
Hamster's not here, so Crafty's taking over his spot.
I was going to say, all of a sudden, we got another shit talker in here just because Hamster's not here. So let's see. We talked a little bit about the Super Bowl. And again, there's already some pieces moving around in the NFL. We'll jump back into that again real quickly. And we talked about the Four Nations, which has been amazing here for the sports world. Just when you kind of get that little bit of a lull, doing great. Again, there's not too much going on right now outside of that. We do have, there's things, drips and drabs coming from the NFL. We know that Aaron Rodgers will not be with the Jets, as they informed him that they will be moving on from him. But apparently Aaron Rodgers did inform them that he planned on playing in 2025. So now that leaves the question, where will Aaron Rodgers end up? With right now, I believe the betting favorite is Pittsburgh.
But do you think that was him saying, I was willing to play another season with you guys? Like before we came on, I'm thinking, why? Like, what else does he have to do? Like, why play another season? You're gonna have to go to another team, learn a new offense. You don't know if the team is going to be Super Bowl contending.
Why not? But because listen, I get it. You can't, like, that's like asking, anybody else that, hey, there's something you really love. There's something you just love to do. It's the thing that you love to do, and you can still do it. Like, like we even saw it this year. Like, despite the Jets' record, Aaron Rodgers can still put a touch on a ball. He can still put 60 yards under that ball and put it right where it needs to be. He can still do all that stuff. Whether or not he can escape the pocket, Yeah. But, I mean, there's been plenty of quarterbacks that have been, pocket quarterbacks that can still play in the league. As long as the arm is there, you can play. He still has the arm. Yeah. So, with all that being said, like, who are we to tell him, hey, you can't play? If somebody's gonna pick him up, pick him up. What he could do the funniest thing.
I was just about to say that.
He could do the absolute funniest thing and go to Minnesota. He could do the absolute funniest thing and fucking complete that fucking story. Finish the story, Aaron.
Him and Brett Favre it always felt like him and Brett Favre never seen eye to eye. And for him to do the full circle,
if he did the Favre tour, like, that would be just chef's kiss. That would just it would be the greatest thing in the world. Will it happen? I don't know, but man, would that be fucking great to see. And then there's the questions too. There's rumors now abounding that Daniel Jones could end up in Pittsburgh. And
I like that.
Pittsburgh fans are upset by that, but I think they need a second to realize that the narrative around Daniel Jones is a lot worse than the quarterback that is Daniel Jones. I'll just say that. I think I think he's a good quarterback. Can he do well in that system? Maybe. He's a very mobile quarterback. People are saying, like, oh, they want Justin Fields in there. I think Daniel Jones moves a lot better than Justin Fields. He runs better than Justin Fields, and I think he's got a better throwing ability than Justin Fields. I'm sorry, I say that. I'll put it out there. Put me on fucking cold takes and freezing cold takes or whatever. That's fine. But Like, I would be interested to see that. Plus, just from a selfish standpoint, I want to see Daniel Jones do well, just to say fuck you to the Giants. I really do. As a Giants fan, I want Daniel Jones to say fuck you. I want every ex-Giant, like Saquon this year, like Xavier McKinney this year, like all these Giants who have left here and done so much better outside of this organization. I want the same for Daniel Jones because I believe that too. I believe he is actually a good NFL quarterback. I'm not saying he's Hall of Famer, clearly. I'm not saying he's anything like that. But I think he is one of the best 32 quarterbacks that you can find in the league to start for you. Absolutely, without a doubt, and I say that unequivocally. I 100% believe that. And I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, well, you're fucking stupid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're fucking casual. Eat shit. I don't give a fuck what the fuck you say about me. That's something that I believe. That is my opinion on where Daniel Jones is. And a lot of the numbers, I think, support that. When you look at them, you have to look at everything in context. And you can look at it in context, you can look at it not in context, but I think in context, Daniel Jones is one of 32 quarterbacks in the NFL that can start in this league. 100%. You know, that's what I mean. I'm not saying he's a top 15. I'm not saying he's top 20 right now. You have to prove that. But is he a top 32? Yes. He can fit into one of 32 slots in the NFL.
No, I totally agree with that. Like, I'll even like your comparison with Justin Fields. Even at a worst case scenario, if Daniel Jones is equal runner to Justin Fields, he's a hell of a lot better passer than Justin Fields.
I think so.
So I think that would be a great fit for him to go to Pittsburgh.
1,000%. 1,000%. Crafty Southpaw in the chat says, who needs a quarterback right now? Raiders, Colts, maybe Aaron Rodgers could mentor the Titans' first round pick. That depends. Because I think Aaron Rodgers wants to go to someone who's contending.
Yeah.
And if he wants to go to somebody who's contending, I don't think that's going to be the Titans. Or the Raiders. Vikings have a good defense, and they got Flores there. So, I mean, I think, and you have JJ, and you have, you have pieces there in Minnesota. Addison there on the other end, on the other side of, Minnesota could work, definitely. Yeah. And to have him there kind of with JJ McCarthy still back up, who again, because of the injury, never really got a rookie season going. So you have him back there. You have him behind Aaron Rodgers, clearly Hall of Famer. What is he, 3-4-time MVP? Why not? Give it a shot. If I'm the Vikings, why not? To me, it's a why not to see what happens. I see. This is the thing I missed about the Super Bowl with ELS is that, man, I was totally statless. Like, ELS is always our guy for the random facts and the stats and the things coming out here. This is great. Like, he's telling us right now, the Washington Commanders hiring 21-year-old Jesse Madden to be offensive quality control coach. Madden is the grandson of legendary Oakland Raiders coach Joe Madden. See, look at that. I wouldn't have fucking known that. It wasn't for our boy ELS in the chat. By the way, if you're watching us and want to join us in the chat, chat's open right now. Thank you so very much. If you want to help us out, please hit that like button. Also, if you're watching and not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to help us out a little bit more tangible fashion, we do have a link for our donation station down in the description below this video, along with our merch store. We were a little late today because I was actually working on new merch and kind of got lost in the sauce. So Jimbo started messaging me. I finally realized he messaged me like half an hour later. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I got to get ready for the show. So yeah, that's going to be happening there. ELS thinks that Rodgers could be going to the Colts for one reason and one reason only, and that's Pat McAfee, which apparently was another reason why the Jets told him that they were going to.
Supposedly that came out that wasn't true.
Now that could be, it could not be. I don't know. It's a lot of scuttlebutt. Like, part of me feels like that was kind of bullshit from the start.
Yeah.
But is it possible? Sure, because I know that did rub a lot of people the wrong way.
And if that's the case, if the Jets were worried about that, like as a reason to not bring him back, whatever, I'm already worried about the coaches then. Like, that should not be on your list of things to worry about of what's all wrong with the Jets.
To be fair, the Jets have had a problem with fucking everything getting out to the media and everybody leaking shit and everybody talking about them. So part of me thinks that maybe if that did happen, that was part of a larger scope of we need to button shit up here,
Okay.
because for what 2.5, 3 years now, Diana Rossini has been shredding the Jets organization. Everything from Robert Saleh having zero control over the locker room to a fucking 13-year-old making general manager decisions based on Madden ratings.
Which turns out they are not the only ones. I don't know if you saw that a couple weeks back.
I did not. What? There was other teams doing Madden ratings to make decisions?
I want to say the Falcons GM, they used the Madden ratings to scout college players, like how the Madden ratings are set up and everything they put into their system.
Right.
Like, I was like, you're using Madden ratings for...
You're using the rating system that everybody hates and everybody always argues about, but we're going to use that to
Yeah.
What? Why are we paying fucking scouts then? Let's just fucking pick up the game and see what's going on. What are we doing here?
That was my thought. Actually, my thought was like, me and you always bust that we can't be GMs because this is not Madden. Well, there's GMs out there thinking this is Madden.
That's a big one, ELS. Los Angeles Chargers pass rusher Joey Bosa likely to be released before he collects a $12.3 million roster bonus next month via ESPN's Dan Graziano. So, that's the thing, though. You can release him, and it might be one of those things where you release and resign or restructure a deal, do some shit like that. But if they do that, you release Joey Bosa, he has a chance to just go whatever the fuck he wants.
I saw that, or I heard it or something like that, and the once that got out there, everybody instantly said Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa together.
They're going to try to put them up in San Francisco together. That
would be dangerous.
I don't know though, because that's the thing. Like San Francisco, they're already getting rid of Debo on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to have to pay Brock, and maybe look at getting another offensive weapon that's somewhere, whether it's through the draft or somewhere else. Are you going to have the money around to get Bosa? I don't know their cap situation right now, so I'm not 100% on that. But again, with the NFL, it's like everything else put together. Like, is that something that's possible? Obviously, it's everybody's first thought, but does it happen? Like, remember when JJ said he wanted to get traded from Houston? Everybody's first thought was either Pittsburgh to play with his brother or Green Bay to play in his hometown, his home state, and he ended up going to fucking Arizona. Yeah. Because the fucking golfing out there is sublime, apparently. So, and apparently the weed stores are lovely. So, so your first thought isn't always where it goes. And again, just another real quick thing. The Chargers going to be playing in the Friday night opening game this year. Obviously, the Eagles will be opening up on Thursday, being the Super Bowl champions. On the Friday, we'll be in Brazil again, down at Corinthians. Hopefully it's not a fucking ice rink this time. And the Chargers will be playing, we don't know yet, but they are going to be the designated home team. So I doubt it'll be the Steelers or the Colts. I know they have them on their schedule, but it won't be either one of them.
I saw a list of potential teams.
Yes.
I forgot to save it to bring it up.
I saw the teams, but the ones I know that aren't going to be there are, because I think it was Ari Miroff put it up, and he included the Steelers and the Colts. But the Steelers are already playing in Ireland, and the Colts are already playing in Germany, so they're not going to give them 2 international games. So they're out. Yeah. And I think the Dolphins were on there too, and the Dolphins are indeed, they're playing overseas as well. They're playing in Madrid, I believe, so they're out as well. So you take those teams off, it narrows the scope down a little bit more. My guess, it'll probably either be like the Raiders, something like that. I can't remember exactly which team. If I had to put money on it, I'd say the Raiders maybe, and see what they do with that. So there was that. What was there? There was something else I wanted to talk about too. There was the Chargers. There was the Corinthians that they're going to be playing down in Brazil. The scuttlebutt about Matthew Stafford to the Giants is not just apparently talk. It's fairly, it has some traction here amongst the insiders.
How so? Because like the last thing I saw as far as why he'd be coming there was you guys hired His brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law is, I think, now the quarterback's coach or something like that. Now, that to me, that doesn't mean that it's something that he's bringing in. But just in general, like the idea that Matthew Stafford could go to the Giants or traded to them has not been immediately poo-pooed by any of the insiders. They've been talking about how because of some things and situations like that, it could be possible. Maybe the Giants work a deal as far as sending the number 3 overall to getting him Cup and maybe something else, or if there's some other big deal the Giants want to pull because they don't like any of the quarterbacks that are in this draft this year, which I understand. None of the quarterbacks to me really stand out as being a franchise-changing quarterback. But yeah, so that's an interesting kind of setup there for the Giants, because this is something I think we talked about a bit in the group chat, is this season is not a season for the Giants to build for the future. It's not. Because if they do that, Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll are getting fired.
Yes.
The Giants have to win this year. At least 8 games. If I'm being honest, they have to win at least 8 games this year for, I think, both of those men to keep their jobs. I think that's what Mara's going to look at.
I think they need to make the playoffs to keep their job.
Maybe. I don't know what Mara's limit is, but knowing Mara, I'm going to err on the side of sucking. So if he'll look at it and say the Giants go from winning, what do we win, 3 games this year? We win 3 games to winning 8 games. I think he'll say, oh, that's something like that. Maybe something. So like when it comes to that, like if you're going to put them in that, which again is another bad situation, which is why I don't know why you would fucking do this, Mara. But that being said, now you have a situation where they have to win or get fired. So if I'm them, I'm going to throw everything at the wall.
Yeah.
So if I have to trade the number 3 pick to get a Super Bowl champion quarterback and a top level wide receiver and whoever else you might want to pick up, maybe somebody on defense, see what you can pick up through the draft, work on an offensive line, something like that, do anything to just improve the team somewhat, some way. Get somebody that can throw the ball to Malik Neighbors, get somebody like that. I don't know. Do you pick up fucking Aaron Rodgers? I don't know about that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers want to come here because, of course, he's looking for that. But that could be something the Giants look at as well. But again, this feels like a situation where the Giants are going to have to throw everything at the wall because they're not going to get any free agents that want to come in unless they massively overpay.
Yeah.
And the only way they're going to get somebody to trade to them is somebody who doesn't have a no trade clause or who willingly waives their no trade clause to go to the Giants. I don't think anybody's going to waive their no trade clause to come to this fucking dumpster fire of an organization. So it's going to have to be a case where they're going to have to work on a trade with somebody who has a no trade clause. I'm not sure if Matthew Stafford has a no trade clause or not. But you have people there. Maybe he can pull Cooper Kupp with him. Maybe there's some other people out there that they can pull. But I right now, looking at that scenario, it makes sense from the position that the Giants are in. Yeah. Does it happen? I think that still might be thinking way too far ahead as far as like fantasy thinking. But it's something. And do I think that actually improves the Giants or gives them a better chance to win? I don't know. Again, Matthew Stafford is old. He's injured a lot. Does that help him playing on MetLife turf in the cold behind an offensive line that's going to get him murdered unless the Giants somehow address that? There's a lot of questions to go around this. So
I think you have to, like, I agree with you. Like, this is not a rebuilding season. This is not anything like that. Like, this is I'm all in type thing. And I think Joe Schoen needs to figure out a way to get Stafford there. And if he could bring Cooper Kupp with Stafford, I think that may help you bring some free agents in. They may be like, you know what? Okay, they got a good quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback. They got 2 good receivers. Maybe I'll go.
You got to work. You got to work on the line now because Matthew Stafford is not going to run for his life there.
That's why maybe you'll get offensive line to come in as free agents.
Good to see you in the chat there, Hamster. Thank you for joining us finally. Great to see you, buddy. ELS says from what he's hearing, is that it could be the Packers playing the Steelers in Dublin. Man, the Packers are going to be pissed about that. They're going to have to do 2 straight years of doing an international game, which they don't like doing because they have to double jump basically because there's no international airport around Green Bay. So they have to take a jet to an international airport and then from there travel out to wherever they're going. Like they had to do that to Brazil last year. They said it was kind of a pain in the ass, and now to do it again 2 straight years, man, Packers are going to be pissed if the NFL makes them do that. They're going to be pissed.
Well, build an international airport then.
Yeah, for the town of 100,000 people. Yeah, that'll work. Just looking through the chat, seeing if anybody else has got talking. Crafty says he'd love to see Stafford on the Vikings, but he's guessing that the Vikings are just going to roll with McCarthy. Do you think they're going to just start him right out of the gate without having anybody there, whether it is Daniel Jones, whether it is Aaron Rodgers or somebody else if they pick up somebody, to just kind of still do that cushion, that waiting period, kind of like the Green Bay model that we've talked about so much? You don't think they might pick up somebody else?
Honestly, I think if it's not Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be J.J. McCarthy. Like, if Aaron says, no thanks, guys, I'm going somewhere else, then you got to go with J.J. McCarthy. Because as much as I like Daniel Jones too, I think J.J. will be a better long-term option, like going into the season, like the full season. So I think it's either Aaron or J.J.
I don't see.
There's no other quarterbacks out there as free agents that I think would beat out J.J. McCarthy.
Here's the thing. I'm not even talking about beating out. Like, especially in the case of Daniel Jones, I don't think it would be a case of beating out. I think it would be a case of how I think they wanted to do it last year, which was starting Darnold, and then as the season progressed, seeing how he looked, how the team looked, how JJ looked, and maybe at some point putting in JJ. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking that they might do again this year and be like, okay, last year everything got fucked up because he had knee surgery. Let's, just rewind it, take 2. And instead of having Darnold, just have it be Daniel Jones this time and put him out there, see how things work, see things at first 3, 4, 5 weeks, and see how JJ is acclimating to being, actually on the field, in uniform, part of the practices, part of that. Because that's the other thing, too. He could sit there. He could sit there in a quarterback room. He can sit on the sidelines during practice. But if you're not there, you're not participating, it's a different thing. It really is. So is that something they want to do? Or are they just going to say, fuck it, and throw him out there? And maybe they still keep Daniel Jones just as a backup, or they pick up somebody else. Maybe they let Daniel Jones go, and if somebody picks him up, I know they get a compensatory pick. So that could be another thing that happens as well if he ends up going with the Steelers. Like, again, there's a ton of stuff that's going on. ELS thinks that the Vikings are going to want to start J.J. McCarthy. That it seems like that young QB bug is bitten everybody in the league. That's like, put him out there as fast as you can. Listen, C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels are outliers.
Yeah.
Your Caleb Williams, your Will Levises, your quarterbacks like that. Those are the norm, where they come out and, boy, don't look great. Things aren't working so great. Things aren't working out. Like, that's your young quarterbacks. Like, that's how it is. Sometimes they get better. Sometimes, again, look at Sam Darnold with the Jets. It took him 4 years and a couple different stops of being bounced around and finally get into a good situation there in San Francisco behind good coaches, knew what the fuck he was talking about, to then go to Minnesota under Kevin O'Connell and have a very good season. Sucked that it ended the way it did, and that probably cost him millions of dollars in a starting spot.
Yeah.
But still, overall, you saw that Sam Darnold, again, like I said about Daniel Jones, I think is one of 32 quarterbacks that could play in the NFL as a starter. Say I'm wrong. I'm not. Go fuck yourself. Because that's what I'm saying. There's some people talking about, Shedeur Sanders is going to be a changing quarterback for. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He wasn't that good at fucking Colorado. Look at Colorado's record. Like, And Colorado won a lot of those games because of Travis Hunter. If I'm picking somebody from Colorado, it's going to be Travis Hunter before fucking Shedeur Sanders. I'm sorry.
If you take Dion out of there as a head coach, no one would even know who Shedeur is.
I don't like Cam Ward, and I think Cam Ward is a better quarterback prospect than Shedeur Sanders is. And I don't think Cam Ward's particularly that good. If I'm going to be honest, I don't. Yeah. So, I mean, it's I don't know. Crafty says that Daniel Jones will be an in-demand backup at the very least. I think so. Again, the league is always looking for at least a solid backup, which I think Daniel Jones clearly is. Again, I still think he's at least one of 32, but we'll see. It'll depend on if a team wants to do that, take a chance on him, and if he gets that opportunity. I certainly hope he does. Like I said, I want him to have that opportunity to go out there and just prove a lot of people wrong, prove the Giants wrong, shut up a lot of Giants fans and the Giants brass. That would be very happy for me to do, at least. That's something I would love to see as far as that goes. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us here. The guys in the chat, everybody here watching, whether you're subscribed or not, please, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, help us out. Hit that like button. I know a lot of people aren't watching because one of the other guys, Tom Grossi's doing he's like a 5-day fucking stream already that he's doing, but it's for a great cause. He's doing, he wants to get either 1 million followers or $1 million donated to a great cause. I think it's like Fallen Patriots College Fund or something. So for soldiers who were fallen in battle, it helps their kids like go to college and have college funds, so they don't have to worry about that. So great work, great things for him, great everything like that. But I know that he's constantly got like 10,000 people watching this fucking stream, and here we are going live. It's like nobody's gonna give a shit about us. Here's the thing: if we did that, if we did like we're gonna do a constant live stream, and we are not gonna go off the air until we get either 1 million followers or have people donate $1 million to a cause that we had. How long do you think that we would be live streaming?
We would end up looking like the skeletons from the Grateful Dead.
We'd be dead. We'd be dead before. We'd be dead before it happened. And by the way, Touch of Grey, great video.
Love it.
Fantastic video. And I'm not a Deadhead. I'm not a Grateful Dead guy. Never have been. Never will be. Touch of Grey is a great song, and that video is awesome too. So yeah, good pull. Good pull on that one. That was nice. Yeah, so that's cool. And by the way, just to put it out there, if you do have a couple bucks, go over to his stream, throw him a couple bucks. It's for a great cause, so help him out. That would be fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it. We talked about the Super Bowl. We talked about some of the goings on here in the NFL as we're getting just into the off season. Silly season is going to pick up a little bit as we get closer to draft time and free agency and all that wonderful stuff that'll be coming out. So that'll be interesting. And of course, we talked about the Four Nations Championship game tomorrow between the United States and Canada. I'm excited for that. A lot of people in the chat appear to be excited about that. Well, a lot of people across social media seem to be excited about that. And that makes me happy as a hockey fan to see hockey grab the world's attention at least and be like, hey, listen, guys, we're here. And also, we're pretty fucking great. So, come and watch us. So that's fantastic. Jimbo, anything else to add on this wonderful, very cold fucking February afternoon, evening?
The only other thing I'll add, since it's the end of the show here, and I'll let you choose door number 1 or door number 2.
Well,
how I'm going to end the show.
Well, I feel like a giant piece of shit ever since the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so I'll go door number 2.
USA, 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 USA,
USA.
Was going to be Fly Eagles Fly.
Oh, God, thank God. Oh, God. Oh, God, I chose the right one. Oh, Snamno Pace, Fili et Spiritu Sancti. But yes, wherever you are, from now on to tomorrow, blast Freebird wherever you can, especially if you're close to a Canadian. That'll certainly be great, and I will appreciate that very much. But until then, yes, go USA, fuck Canada. Don't boo the anthem, Boston. Don't do it.
I like Freebird.
Yeah, that's the American Eagle. That's not a Philadelphia Eagle. So it passes for now. For now. And again, thank you to everybody in the chat who joined us. ELS, Crafty, Hamster, all you guys, everybody in there, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. My name is King. That right over there is Jimbo. This has been Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you, I don't know, sometime. It's the worst way to end a show.